Henshin a go-go, baby. What's good, guys? Yoku here, and today we're gonna be talking about I'm not gonna lie to you, I forgot Honkai Star Rail 1.4, the special preview thing, but in particular I really want to talk about Topaz and Jingliu. Those two in oh, and then Guinaifen. Dog, Guinaifen looks so good. All right, we're just gonna really give my consolidated thoughts and opinions about what's going on. All right, so far from what we saw in the live stream, it was absolutely bonkers. There was a lot that I loved about this, and in fact I really do think this was the best special program live stream they've done ever. I haven't seen anything else come close to the type of quality they put out in this, and it was just overall, it was fun, it was entertaining. I loved watching what was going on. March 7th being the VTuber and the streamer, and then she's like, oh, my favorite streamer, this, that, and that, and I'm the whole time I'm thinking, oh yeah, she's talking about me. I knew she wasn't talking about me, but that's not the point, okay? I'm just saying, she kept talking about a favorite streamer. I was like, that's cool. Who's her favorite streamer? Guinaifen. Guinaifen's a streamer? How would you know that? I didn't know that. So I was like, wow, this is just really nice to see everything laid out in a very concise but streamer-ish. Like, they really did their research. There were mess ups. She left the camera on at the end, and you know, like little things like that I think as a viewer, if you're looking at this, it's cute. But then as a streamer, if you're looking at this, it's like, that's funny because that's a streamer thing, you know? Like, I don't know. That out of the way, we could go through what we have for the preview. I'm just gonna use this as a means of keeping up with what was spoken about so that I don't lose too much track, but I will take some moments to pause, right? We have Jingliu here, we have Topaz, which you guys knew I was super excited about Topaz. I'm pulling her for the thighs alone. But the fact that, in my opinion, based off what we saw from the live stream, Topaz is 100% like this entire 5, right? 1.4. This is coming out like in a week. This entire 1.4 patch, everything phenomenal. This is easily one of, if not the best banners I've seen in a decent little bit of time. And what I mean by that is simply the character pool value. There's usually something where we get Imbiber de Lune and then Bushwin. Those are really great characters. You can make or break who you want. You kind of can't go wrong with both, but then you look at, oh, well, Imbiber de Lune is he's a DPS character, so I could always get another DPS. I can't get another Fu Xuan. Imagine if they gave you 2 Fu Xuans, or better yet, let's say that the banner for 1.3 was a Fu Xuan and then a Bronya, a whole different type of Bronya, but does the same thing but better, and then Fu Xuan. You would have such a hard time deciding who you really want. You would go for both. Version 1.4 feels like that to me. It feels like that. Jingliu, strong, solid. Out of the gate, I'm telling you guys right now, this character's broken. She's cracked out of her mind. She is easily on Imbiber de Lune levels. They would have to mess up the multipliers on a character like this so bad that she can't be, you would have to fuck her up. There's no other way for me to say that. You would have to mess this character up, because if she is as strong as she looks, she's easily on Imagine Dragons level. If they nerf anything, if they take away some multipliers, if they make it so that, you know, like her little multi-slashes don't hit AoE, anything, it significantly decreases the value of the character. But I don't think they would do that. I mean, they kind of showed it to us. They showed us what she does in the live stream, which I'm like, yo, her kit is phenomenal. The Transcendian State, the regular skill, the ability to, and there's some things that I can't remember if they said specifically, so I won't mention a lot. I do remember they said that she sucks away HP from her allies, which that could be a little bit of a maybe a little bit of a downer in a sense. It really just depends on how much HP they suck. They're getting pretty good at not showing us what they don't want us to see, and they did not show us how much HP she consumed from the allies. That was something I was really looking towards, but they didn't show it inside of the live stream. I was a little disappointed in that, to say the least, but it is what it is. No big deal. Jingliu looks amazing. Her companion quest is going to answer the quintet, the Xianzhao quintet. I'm like, yo, whoa, I didn't know about that, but I'm hooked. I have to go through and play all the companion quests, so if you guys want to see that, come out to the stream. We're going to be doing that. But regardless, I'm really excited about Jingliu. If you can't tell, that's big sister, okay? We can't call her baby girl. We cannot call Jingliu baby girl. That's big sister. She's going to protect us from the bullies. Overall thoughts about Jingliu with everything that we've seen from the live stream, I am ecstatic. I'm really ecstatic about her. She looks like the type of character, I don't want to say multiple sets work for like relics, but I could see her being a very like, it's straight up, it's I don't know how to say, it's another Imagine Dragon. It is really another Imagine Dragon. You could get away with maybe the Musketeer set. You could definitely get away with the Ice Domain, right? The Glacial Frost. Something that we've been experimenting with lately for our DPS characters is Quantum, because of the 20% defense reduction or penetration, if you will. So that would be really cool. I think they showed off her light cone. I don't remember if they talked about the details of her light cone, so I'm not gonna open my mouth on that. But yeah, if you know, you know, and if you don't know, wait until this weekend and I'll tell you about it. Regardless, Jingliu looks like a monster. I need to pull her. She is, as of right now, in my opinion, this is another S+ character. If we're looking at a tier list, Jingliu is sitting up there in S+ territory. The ability to destroy anything in the game before you take significant damage, wonderful. It's borderline going to ruin the game, but as a player, I don't really care about that right now. I want power. Next, we can talk about Topaz and Guinaifen. Both of these characters are, oh my gosh, bro. Topaz and Numby. Topaz having Numby to do the follow-up attacks, Topaz increasing the follow-up attack damage that Numby and whoever else is doing on the team does. Numby being able to advance forward every time somebody attacks and she attacks. There is so much built into Topaz's kit. Now I can finally talk about Topaz. Woohoo! I think Topaz might be my favorite character out of everything from Star Rail so far that we've seen. Silverwolf was one of my favorite characters because she breaks the game, right? She implants a weakness. She has all these different bugs that she can apply to you. One of my favorites, just off design. I don't mean favorite in terms of like, oh yeah, Topaz is my favorite because I love her story. I don't know her story. I'm saying purely off the character design, from the design, the kit, everything. Silverwolf was up there for me. Now you have Topaz. Topaz has the ability to be a main DPS character, to be a sub DPS character. I believe they said that she also buffs, or like the proof of death. The proof of death, that ability counts as like a debuff, or maybe it doesn't count as the word debuff, but it does debuffing things to the enemy so that your teammates can be like, oh yeah, more damage. Support. She counts as like a DPS support in a sense, or an offensive support, whatever you want to call it. Topaz has the ability to do a multitude of things on the offensive side of a team, and I love it. What that does is, again, you guys know me. Well, if you don't, hi, my name's Yoku, and I like talking about off meta things, but they're still meta, and it's kind of like I'm predicting the future because everything that I've said so far has been right. I mentioned the duo element comps, and instead of like kind of like the rainbow things that we've been doing, or like mono comp things, duo element is finally starting to come out on top. Wonderful. I love it. Now we have the double DPS thing, which I started talking about back in Yukon. Now we're getting into that. Topaz, here's a door, open it up. Topaz walks right through. Double DPS is finally looking like a very solid measure with how you build your teams, especially with your addition characters. Serval, you have Jingliu, which a lot of people consider him a main DPS or a hyper carry. I don't think Jingliu is a hyper carry, not anymore. Well, maybe, yeah, with Fu Xuan, maybe, but even still, now that Topaz is coming into the game, that's going to be really hard too, because Jingliu kind of has a set team, you know? You have Jingliu, you have Asta, you have Tingyun, and then you have whatever sustain you want. In this case, it'd be Fu Xuan. That team is good, probably his best team, but then you could probably replace Asta with Topaz. Problem with that, you sacrifice whatever damage and speed Jingliu would be doing to put more damage, more consistent damage. That's what I should say. You sacrifice whatever Asta or Tingyun, I wouldn't give it to Tingyun, but you sacrifice whatever teammate is on the team for giving Jingliu more power, and then you replace them with Topaz and Numby, and that just gives you more consistent damage overall. And I haven't tested it yet because obviously the character's not out, but when I do get them and I'll test it, it'll probably give you more damage. And I'm all about big dick numbers, okay? Big dick damage is what I'm all about. Being able to still have Jingliu consistently like pop somewhere near 100k for Lightning Lord, and then with Topaz bumping that up by like, I don't know, however much percent. Let's just say that it was like 25%. Well, now he's doing 125 off rip before any other multipliers get applied to that, before the defense reduction gets applied to that. That'd be crazy to think about. You have Numby backdooring, so when Jingliu does something, boom, boom, Lightning Lord comes through. Guess who's in the back? Numby. Numby's coming through with the freaking Sonic wheel. It's great. I love it. I like where we're going with Star Rail right now. The characters they're dropping, all the unique stuff that they have about these characters, wonderful. I love it. And then we can talk about Guinaifen. Guinaifen is such a wonderful character, dude, because I originally thought she was going to be a bad character, not on design, just in terms of her kit. I think fire as a whole right now is pretty weak, but not fire specifically. Burn. I think burn is in a really weak spot. I always talk about Pokemon, and I compare these things to Pokemon. Burn has a 50% attack reduction. It halves your attack. Whatever your attack is, it gets cut in half, and then every other multiplier happens afterwards. I think if Star Rail took some inspiration from Pokemon to apply to their status elements or attributes in the game, it would make the game or give us more reason to be using these status elements. Burn can be applied to anything, sure. It's not really too difficult to apply these statuses to any enemy in the game, but looking at burn, looking at someone like Himiko, looking at someone like Hook, even Asta, who can apply burn to a character, and then you combine that with the DOT queen Kafka, there's not really a burn DOT comp, you know, like as much as I try to make Kafka plus Himiko work, Himiko's burn is ass. It just doesn't, it's not good. Now, if burn had a second application to it, maybe having their attack or having, I don't want to say having their defense, that's crazy. Having their speed, right? Cutting their speed in half or a quarter. I think a quarter is fair. Half might be too much. Cutting their attack into a quarter or 30%, whatever the case may be, adding something else to the burn would be phenomenal. And that would be great. Guinaifen is the closest thing that we're getting to seeing something else being added to the burn. Not only does she burn them, which, you know, her burn from what we've seen, I think they talked about her getting an increase in her burn damage or something like that, and I'm not too sure, but she has this thing called Fire Kiss. Fire Kiss auto happens. She burns the enemy, and it doesn't even have to be her. It said that any enemy on the field, when they're burned and she's on the field, they get Fire Kiss. Like as soon as they take the burn damage, bang, Fire Kiss happens. Fire Kiss increases the damage received from the enemy. So the or by the enemy, actually. No, I'm right, from the enemy. Yeah. Whenever the damage received from whatever, by the enemy, something, you guys get what I'm saying. Enemy takes more damage whenever they have Fire Kiss applied. They said Fire Kiss could stack. Wonderful. That means that, let's say Fire Kiss was a 10% whatever, right? So you can stack that, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, however many times you can stack it. That's a crazy multiplier to add on top of that. That's basically adding more damage. It's kind of like the reverse of a defense reduction, but you're adding more damage given to them. So whatever you were gonna do, you were gonna do 100,000. And then they were like, oh yeah, well now you're gonna do a Fire Kiss adds 30% damage multiplier. They take 30% more damage. Well, 100,000, boom, there's a 30, there's 130,000 extra, or 30,000 extra damage that they're taking. Cool beans. Someone's gonna pop my bone like, bro, you're ass at math, man. How could you not know 30% of 100,000 is actually 70,000? I'm gonna be like, bro, I don't know. I hate math. So it is what it is. I do math when I have to, not on the spot. Moving past the characters though, because you guys can tell I freaking, oh, by the way, because I tiered Jingliu, my predictions for them. I think Topaz goes in S tier. I think Guinaifen is going to sit in a healthy A+ territory right now, and I will make a tier list, probably not now, maybe right before they come out, just so I have like a basis of where I want to start. I don't know, but I do think we're in a position to where now we can start doing our halves. If you're doing numbers, so like your tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, whatever, now you can get 0.5 tier 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, whatever. Now we can start doing our halves. There's only like a couple characters that sit in C tier. I don't think anyone else is beneath C tier right now, but I do think there are some characters that are in B tier that are closer to C tier, but they're closer to A tier. You guys get what I'm saying? So now we're in that ballpark. We have enough characters to do that. There's more differentiation between what's going on. The light cones, boy, oh boy. Again, I don't remember if they talked about what these light cones do, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But if you know, you know. The character warp for Jingliu is good. Sampo, for those that are running the DOT teams, right? Kafka, this will be pretty nice for you. Xing Shui, I think Xing Shui or Xing Shui, that's how you pronounce that if I'm not mistaken. QQ, because that's way easier for me to pronounce. She's pretty good. She's been having a lot of popularity lately. She is 0 cycling or 0 to 1 cycling MOC, the current MOC. So she's good. And then of course Ting Yun for those that are starting out, and I'll have a video about this, but if you're watching this far in, here's a little secret tip for you. PlayStation is going to be getting their release at the same time as this. If I were a PlayStation user, I would be starting the game now, or why did I inflate now? Why did I do that? I don't know. I'd start the game now instead of waiting until it comes out on PlayStation, whether or not that could be through your phone or through a PC, laptop, whatever. I start the game now, go ahead and start racking up some stuff, get some jades in, and then pull on Jingliu's banner so you can get a copy of Ting Yun. Ting Yun is basically going to be your best character in your account as far as like supportive stuff goes. You have Topaz and Numby, Guinaifen, Sampo and Luca and Sushang. Sushang is going to be an amazing pickup for a lot of characters here. Guinaifen and Luca will be what you're looking for if you're running DOT, but we don't have Kafka right now. If you do have Kafka, you want to pick up more of these two. If you don't, it is what it is. And then of course you have the Zila or Sele banner coming into looks like late. Yeah, so she comes here phase 2 with Topaz. Choosing between Topaz and Zila, I will have a different video for that because this one's getting really long, but this is awesome. This is great. Really tough decision for free-to-play players though. This is going to be a huge decision for you guys because I don't expect Zila to come back around for any time soon, but the same can be said about Topaz. You know, if Topaz comes out and she's cracked, maybe if you pulled Like, let's say that you pulled Clara and you start the game on PlayStation, phase 2 comes in and your first 5-star was Clara. I'm not gonna lie to you, I would 100% pick Topaz over Zila because that's gonna complete your team. But if you're like, oh man, I want a second DPS team right now, you can't use that because you won't get that far in the game yet, but whatever. If you decide that's what you want to do, Zila. Regardless, we're in there. The events, bro, man, I was just talking about Pokemon earlier. These were huge for me. Seeing the Pokemon event inside of Star Rail where you capture all the enemies that you fight all the time and then you turn them into a team for Pokemon and then you go against the other people in the game. Boy, I'm a huge fan of this. I told you guys, this is easily the best event or the best live stream I've seen in a long time. You also get a free 4-star selector from this. There it is, boom. You get a free 4-star selector from doing this. You get the self-modeling resin, you get the track of destiny, you get jades, you get books, you get that's a box, if I'm not mistaken, the box that lets you pick essential materials you want. This is a great event. I want them to, this needs to be a perma mode. Make this perma mode and then make it so that I can play my friends with the enemies. Let me play them in PvP with Pokemon. You guys can't complain about free to play versus pay to win in that sense, because there is no pay to win. Get your ass in the game, go catch that enemy and then fight. That's it. I want a Void Trampler. I'm gonna get a Void Trampler. He's gonna shoot the arrow. Everyone's getting entangled. He's gonna do two shots. It'll be crazy. But this free 4-star selector is not bad. Again, Luca's already gonna be on the banner by the time phase 2 comes in. I don't know if this Aetherium Wars is gonna be in phase 1 or phase 2. I'm hoping it's in phase 1, but if it's in phase 2, not a big deal either. But Luca will be there. Luca and Payla are probably gonna be your best pickups out of this, to be completely honest. Hook is not really a destruction character. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why they gave her that. I guess because she destroys things. They're trying to make her like the Klee of the game. It's whatever. Serval's not bad. Serval's a decent pickup, but I do believe you get a couple of her for free. So I don't know if I'd pick up another one for free. And like I said, Hook is just, it's, you know, Topaz is gonna be there, Guinaifen's gonna be there. I don't think I would waste it on Hook. I think I would use it on Payla, because if you don't have Silverwolf, which if you're starting out brand new, you won't have Silverwolf, and then Luca, if you know, running Luca, then you would do that. The Planar Infinity, this is just gonna be giving us double of the drops and whatnot. We always love these. We love double rewards. That's it, right? That's the end of it. Guys, if you got it to the end of this video, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching all the way through. I didn't want to make this as long. You can see that I was talking pretty fast, which is not normal. I also didn't script this video because I'm trying to get back to my old self, well, where I just talk, but then I ramble and you get 20-minute videos. So I don't really know what to tell y'all, bro. Like, it's either you want them or you don't want them, you know, but it is what it is. Regardless, let me know how you feel about version 1.4. How do you feel about Jingliu? How do you feel about Topaz, Guinaifen? How do you feel about the new Pokemon event, Aetherium Wars? Who you're going to pick for the 4-star selector? Just fill the comments with every single opinion you have about version 1.4, because you've all heard mine. If you saw me during the live stream or watched the previous live stream, you saw what I was going for. I absolutely love it. But I'm gonna get out of here. Subscribe if you want to see more content, like the video, whatever the case may be. But if you're someone like myself who's making these last minute banner pull decisions and you don't know if you should pull Fushun or not, you can actually look at that not over here. You can look at that over here, where you can see my Fushun guide, or possibly you can see my opinions on Fushun and whether or not you should pull her. I can't say my user outro because it's inappropriate for YouTube. Smell you later.